We have a young woman here who is, she works for Californians for Alternatives to Toxics, and she's been interested from the beginning once we first talked. And Californians for Alternatives to Toxins is one of these organizations, groups that really keeps the world aware around them as far out as they can reach, keeps the world aware that you can't poison. No, I don't know, that's not good. You can't give us your herbs and toxics. We will not accept that. That's part of one of the crises that we're facing. If we mentioned all the crises we were facing, you'd leave right now. So we're not going to do that. We're going to get to something else. But anyway, my friend, Amy, could you come up? She has a small message for you. Her first time on stage. She won't like me for saying that, but...
Hi everybody, it's so good to see you all. Today I'm here to share with you the passion of a 12-year-old Palestinian boy. It's called Tell Me Why. Tell me why does it have to be like this? Tell me why. Is there something I have missed? Tell me why, because I don't understand. When somebody needs somebody, we don't give a helping hand. Tell me why. Every day I ask myself, what will I have to do to be a man? Do I have to stand and fight to prove to everybody who I am? Is this what my life is for, to waste in a world of war? Thank you.
Ain't no power like the power of the people. Because the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people. Ain't no power like the power of the people. Hey, ain't no power like the power of the people. Let's do that when we get out on the highway. This is a coalition meeting, whether we thought it was that or not. It was always supposed to be a coalition of all things. We were talking about war because war is the absolute worst of this. It keeps people really shrinking from leaving their house, but their house is really no protection sometimes, being bombed and shrapnelled, you know, small arms going off, no way to let their kids out, no way to go to the grocery store. We cannot begin to imagine what that means. I'm back to my notes. I'd like you to know a man that I've worked with here for some time, and he loves the idea of coalition too. He works very hard for that, but he works at a certain particular part of it, and it just knocks him out every day, because what he faces is that his particular business is going under unless he keeps making it work with benefits, whatever it takes. He's really trying to keep going, and he's trying to reach people who can understand that it's not about the wars, it's about the benefits of those monies put into things we need here. Glenn Reed, are you here?
How that ties together with today's main issue, which is money for billions of dollars for war and for the defense budget, and not for human needs in the country, in the state, in the county, in the city, and for individual agencies that serve people in need. Since I've been in this area and in this job, I've talked to a woman in Oric and another woman in Garberville who both have disabilities, who live in mobile homes on back roads. They can't find affordable housing in the bigger cities, and they can't access services. They've called me repeatedly, worrying about the cuts proposed by our current governor. The first calls I got were 3 years ago. He's been cutting these programs every year since. This year he's proposing the total elimination of some of those programs. I've met other people who live in subsidized housing, people who use wheelchairs and are living independently in the community, thanks to programs like in-home support services, which provides care providers for these individuals so they can continue to live happily and independently at home, as well as contribute to their communities. A lot of them have not been able to attend our recent events. Why? Because they can't find care providers. One reason is these care providers are paid minimum wage with no benefits in this county. And this program is now people in the program are now being demonized by the current governor through an anti-fraud program through which we're paying as taxpayers $26 million. So those people may not be out today because they literally can't get out of bed because they can't find care providers, and this governor is proposing to eliminate a program entirely and forcing these people to choose between living in nursing homes or living on the streets. I've met other people who have told me if they are put in these circumstances, they'd rather die than be forced into a nursing home facility. I've met another individual who is dealing with mental illness, and through the Medi-Cal cuts that were enacted in the last legislative session, they eliminated coverage for the medications that worked for her. Not that I'm advocating use of medications, but in this instance, it worked for her. They cut off those medications. She ended up in another facility in an emergency situation. Others are ending up in the emergency rooms due to these cuts. I participated in an event approximately 2 weeks ago, which Jack was at. It was a protest of state cuts to education programs and raises in tuition of up to 32% in the state university system. I read recently of 22,000 teachers being cut in the state of California. These state cuts are directly related to what's happening at the national level. Our priorities in this country are warped, and they are geared towards an industrial military complex and empire rather than human needs, education, healthcare, and social services. The money spent at the national level means less money at the state level. The states are all facing humongous deficits at this point, partly as a result of all the money we spend at the national level on war and defense budgets that dwarf what the rest of the world is spending. Those state cuts mean that the state is raiding county budgets and local budgets which fund programs that benefit us locally. These issues are all interrelated. People that were protesting a few weeks ago for the education cuts, I'm sure some are here today. There should be more here today. There should be more of us at their events. Our organization is organizing a protest on June 4th regarding cuts to disability and senior programs. You should all be at that event. We should create an event where all these people get together, because coalitions are what we need now. We don't need individual protests with several hundred people. There is one issue here. It's the common good. It's prioritizing people rather than profit and the corporations and war. And we need to get that message out, and we all need to be working together as one to fight this one issue. Thank you.
Yeah, some people have come up and said, you haven't mentioned corporations. Don't you understand this is all about corporations? Was there any doubt in your mind that it was about corporations? All right, just so you understand, that's the bottom line. We're fighting them all the time. I was there in the WTO in Seattle. We took it on the best we could. We won that one. And then they found out how we did it. And then they stopped the next one. But we are always after their butt. We want that to be stopped. And don't you ever forget it. Some people say, Jack, are you religious? Yeah. Maybe not the same way as some other people, but I follow my love the best I can every day, or nothing really works well. How about you? How many really feel that they are really sacred beings? Is that religious? Or is that spiritual? Or what's the difference?